Well, g'day there guys, it's Mr. Oz Adventure here. I'm finally on the bike again. It's been far too long. I don't know how long it's been since I have ridden the bike. The only time I've been on it is when I moved house, which is a large reason why I haven't been riding that much lately. So the last time I went for a real decent ride was when I went to the Lake Wavenhoe Team Moto Test Ride Day. We had a bit of a moto vlogger meetup up there. That was the last time I had a social ride, a joy ride, other than moving the bike from one house to the other when we moved. So I don't know when that was. That was well over a month ago, probably 5 weeks ago since I've ridden the bike properly. So that's far too long in my eyes, but I've got a few excuses. The first one is, like I just mentioned, we've moved house, and I'm going to chat a little bit about that in this video. And the other reason why I haven't been riding my motorbike too much is because I've been training for the Kokoda Challenge, which, if you go back to my previous video, you'll hear all about that in that video. And I will be posting another update video about my Kokoda Challenge training regime shortly, hopefully. Yeah, so what I wanted to talk to you about the whole moving house thing is what I miss about living on an acreage. So we're now moved to the suburbs, which has its good points, but it also has its downsides as well. Can I go, yes, stay green? Oh, fuck it, I'm going, I'm committed. As I was saying, living on an acreage has its positives, and I'm going to talk about that in the video, what I miss from that. I'll talk about, right now, the positives of living in the suburbs. For us, personally, we can ride our push bikes to work. It's not that far. We can also have a little bit more freedom because I can ride my motorbike to work as I'm doing now, and then leave early and go for a ride. Couldn't do that in the past because I had to take my daughter to the bus stop every morning, and I would have to pick her up overnight. Our kids go to two different schools, so my wife would be going one way and I would be going the other way, taking a separate child, and then ending up at work together. But now the daughter gets the bus at the end of our street, and that means we've got a little bit more flexibility with our getting to and from work, not having to take a child. So I'm on the bike and I'm going to go for a little ride afterwards. Woo! Not a long one, just a little one, just to get out in it. The bike is absolutely covered in spider webs, dust, weeks and weeks of dust. Anyway, enough dribbling on. I'll catch you later and enjoy the footage that I filmed a few weeks back from our house before we moved. I'll see you later on. Bye bye. So one thing I'm going to miss about not being on an acreage is having secluded little country lanes like this one I'm going down now, less than 5 minutes from my door. Beautiful little creeks, countryside, the Australian bush, rainforest, all within an easy little ride, or even a walk from my doorstep. Now I say I miss it, and I'm going to miss it, but in the 2 years that I lived in the house, I came down this road probably 3 or 4 times. So I'm talking a bit of shit really and saying that I'm going to miss this, but you know, look at that, it's just really close to where I lived, and got a nice creek crossing up the road. In my Kokoda training video, I walked across the causeway and got wet feet and walked along the road in that video, and I said I would come back on the bike, and that's what I'm doing. So how good is this, eh? I wouldn't want to be riding through here in the wet, because this green stuff on the road is mighty, mighty slippery. It hasn't rained for a couple of days. There's still wet patches everywhere. Look at that. It's just magnificent countryside. I'm just coming up to the causeway now, where I'm going to ride through some water. No, I'm not. The tide's out. It's dry today. Normally there's water going over the top of this every other time I've been here. And up here you got a nice little rock pool area. Just a little bit further, like 10 minutes from home, you got this beautiful little spot. You can come up here and just go for a swim. Have a look down there. How cool does that look? So clear, very deep. When the water's flowing, there's like a little slide on the other side, and you just slide down into it. Might be a bit rough on the old butt on the stones, but I'll turn around here. How cool is that? Look at that shit. You don't get to see that in the suburbs. So yeah, this is part of the Kokoda Challenge circuit. You walk out of the national park there, and then walk up the road that I just rode down, and then back up into the forest again. Most people that live on the Gold Coast would not even be aware that this road exists. Yet it's only 15 minutes or so. Right now I'm like 15 minutes from the Pacific Highway, the main highway up and down the east coast of Australia. The freeway. And I'm in the friggin' jungle. Look at it. Look at that shit. 15 minutes from the freeway. Don't come to the Gold Coast and spend all your time in surfers paradise in the concrete jungle. Get out here and look at this stuff. It's awesome. The one thing I'm going to miss about living out of town on an acreage is having these tight twisties about 4 minutes from my door. Most times I don't even get a chance to warm my tyres or warm myself before I hit these suckers. But I am going to miss having them so close to home. Because I just love this little section of road, it's awesome. So I'm going to have to travel about 10 to 15 minutes or so, depending on the traffic, from the new house to get to here. Easily 10 minutes. And which is not a big deal. I can learn to live with that, but I'm going to have to deal with traffic lights and traffic and other people and roundabouts and all that crap, instead of just getting out of their street and just going for it. Another thing I'm going to miss about not living on an acreage is being able to shoot arrows in my backyard. Something I really enjoy having the space to do, and in a little suburban backyard it gets a little bit dangerous to do that. One stray arrow, or one arrow going through a paling fence, which is possible, it could end up in all sorts of bother. Another thing I'm going to miss about not living on an acreage anymore is being able to do this in my yard. just hoon around on the mountain bike in my backyard. How am I going to do that on a suburban block? Whoa. Oh, I'm not going to be able to have this much fun in a normal backyard. This is just an awesome backyard for riding the mountain bike around. Another thing I'm going to miss about not living on an acreage is being able to come out the backyard, sit down, relax, and check out the scenery like this. This is beautiful. So with all these positives, you might be asking why we're moving. Well, basically a time thing, and it's a kid thing. The kids never really liked living out here, and they're coming into their teenage years. One's already a teenager, so they need the freedom, being able to walk around the streets, go to the shops, do whatever they want. Out here there's no real safe place for them to ride their bikes, to walk or anything like that, and they feel a bit trapped. So we're moving back into town, and we may move out to this sort of lifestyle in a few more years. But for now, it's goodbye to the rural lifestyle and hello to suburbia. The other good thing is I'll be able to hop on my mountain bike and ride to work. Daughter will be able to ride her bike to school, which means it'll free up some time for me to go motorbike riding in the mornings or after work. And that's always a good thing. I will catch you in the next video. As always, ride safe and be sensible.